In light of the recent Google leak and everything that was revealed on today's episode, I'm going to be sharing 3 pretty interesting search engine optimization experiments. I talked about this on yesterday's episode. This is from an article called 21 SEO Experiments that will change the way you think about SEO forever. It's from SEOsherpa.com. I would encourage anybody to check it out. This was originally written in 2016 and has been updated every year since. And when I was learning SEO, this was a document that enthralled me. And I use that term very seriously because I remember so vividly sitting on the couch in my Brooklyn Williamsburg apartment, reading this, so engaged, learning so much about the way that Google actually works. Not what people say in terms of how it should work, not what the Google representatives say in terms of how it should work, but how it actually works. And I think that was something that we really learned with the Google algorithm leak that happened last week. Google said that its search results should work this way, and then a lot of people who took their word for religion found out that it wasn't really true. That actually the way that we suspected it worked, the way that these experiments, which I'm going to share with you, revealed that it worked, that is actually how it worked, not how the Google representatives said it worked. And that's why I think learning from other people and seeing what actually goes on when high pressure experiments are performed is so important. So the 3 experiments that I will be reading are, number 1 is called Link Echoes, how backlinks work even after they are removed. So that is the first one that I'm going to share. The second one that I'm going to share is the industry got it wrong. Mobilegeddon was huge. I remember Mobilegeddon, and everyone was talking about how the switch to mobile was going to be such a dramatic effect on search. I remember that so vividly. And then I'm going to be sharing the second part of Rand Fishkin's click-through rate experiment because I shared the first part on a previous episode, but I'll tune you into what the first part is too once we get there. It's a click-through rate experiment on how clicks in the SERPs, in the search engine results pages, and velocity of those clicks affects performance and how people can see that effect immediately. And that's what I am reading and sharing on today's episode. If you are listening, sit back or just go for a walk or do whatever you're doing and enjoy. I think you'll enjoy this. And if you're watching, if you want to know where I am right now, because if you're watching, you'll see I have a cool background behind me. I am in a garden of another luxury hotel. Yesterday, I was in a different luxury hotel in this European city that I'm in, and now I'm in a different one. I come to this one all the time. I love it here. And in the spring, it is exceptionally pretty. And so if you can see, there's a sculpture behind me, a nice building, bushes, people walking by. There's actually there's a stream that goes along the side to my right over here, and tons of people walking by, so you can see that to my right. Or I don't know, it might be flipped horizontal when I actually upload it, so it might be to my left. But I think it's extremely pretty where I am. I'm very happy and excited to be filming this podcast where I am filming it. So, all right, let's talk about some SEO. Let's talk about some search engine optimization. Oh my gosh. And then on another episode, this is something else in this article. I'll share this on a future episode. This one is called You Can Rank with Duplicate Content Works, even on competitive keywords. Maybe I'll share that tomorrow or the next day. But for now, let's talk about backlinks. Link echoes, how backlinks work even after they are removed. All right, so I'm going to read this. Credit where credit is due. The idea of link echoes or link ghosts, as they've also been referred to, was first identified by Martin Hanayovatov and Mike King from iPullRank. By the way, Mike King was one of the leaders exposing the Google algorithm leak and breaking down what he found in the Google documents that were going viral last week and still going viral this week. The article continues, the idea is that Google will continue to track links and consider the value of those, positive or negative, even after the links are removed. If this is the case, does a website that increased in rank after a link was added continue to rank after the link has been taken away? Well, let's see. So this is where the experiment comes in. This particular experiment was performed by the team at Moz. Rand Fishkin, who made the article leaking the Google Docs, he is a founder of Moz. He exited, I think, in 2018 or 2019, most likely for hundreds of millions of dollars, as Moz was making around $50 million ARR at the time. He is a leader in SEO, used to make incredible SEO content, though now he's not as active in the space anymore. But so Moz is his company, and this experiment comes from Moz. A lot of the experiments actually in this article come from Moz. So I'll continue reading. This particular experiment was performed by the team at Moz and was amongst a series that set out to test the effect of rich anchor text links on search rankings. So they were doing all these experiments to test anchor text and how adding really descriptive anchor text or exact match anchor text affected things. And this was one out of these experiments. But as so often holds true in science, the experiments brought about some entirely unexpected findings. The link echo effect. There were two websites in this experiment, website A and website B. Before the test, this is how they ranked for the same, not very competitive keyword. Website A ranked at position 31. Website B ranked at position 11. During the test, links were added to 22 pages on various websites pointing to both website A and website B. Both websites, which received 22 links each, subsequently shot up the rankings. Website A moved from position 31 to position 1, an increase of 30 positions. Website B moved from position 11 to position 5, an increase of 6 positions. In short, both websites increased in rankings considerably when links were added. But what happened when those same links were removed? Answer: very little at all. Website A stayed in position number 1. Website B dropped down slightly to position 6, a small drop of only 1 position. This experiment validates the hypothesis. It does appear that some value from links, perhaps a lot of value, remains even after the links are removed. Could this experiment have been an isolated cause? Not according to Rand Fishkin, who I just mentioned. So Rand said, this effect of these link tests remaining in place long after the link had been removed happened in every single link test we ran, of which I counted 8, where I feel highly confident that there were no confounding variables, feeling really good that we followed a process kind of just like this. The links pointed, the ranking rose. The links disappeared, the rankings stayed high. But here's what's so remarkable. These higher rankings were not short-lived. They remained for many months after the links were removed. At the time of the video that was just shared, they share a video in this article, at the time of the video, the results had remained true for 4.5 months. Furthermore, not in one single test when the links were removed did rankings drop back to their original position, says Rand Fishkin. That's crazy. Not in one single test when the links were removed did rankings drop back to their original position. There are several lessons you can learn from this, but I'll leave it at these two. Quality links are worth their weight in gold. Like a solid investment, backlinks will continue to give a good return. The echo of a vote once cast, as proven by this test, will provide benefit even when removed. So quality links are really important because even when they're removed, they are still valuable. And number 2, the value of links do remain for some time. So before you get tempted into acquiring illegitimate links, consider if you are ready to have that remain a footprint for months or even years ahead. Wow, think about that. So if you're going to try to game Google and get bad links, that can hurt you for a long time. This is why I say, don't try to outsmart Google. Unless you're you have so much experience and you are really technical. In my opinion, it's just not worth the risk because it's a risk. The value of links remain for some time. So in short, spend your time focusing on building natural organic links. Links can either work for you or against you, so ensure that it is the former. All right, that was link echoes, how backlinks work even after they are removed. Next, we are talking about the industry got it wrong. Mobilegeddon was huge. I'm enjoying this. This is amazing. I can't believe I'm out in this beautiful garden. There are roses in front of me. So nice out here. I can't believe I'm reading this SEO article to all of you out here. This is great. Mobilegeddon was the unofficial name given to Google's mobile-friendly update in advance of its release on April 21st, 2015. The update was expected to skyrocket the mobile search rankings for websites that are legible and usable on mobile devices. It was anticipated to sink non-mobile friendly websites. Some people were even saying it would be a cataclysmic event, larger than Google's Penguin and Panda. For months prior, webmasters scrambled to get their sites in order. As the day drew closer, the scramble turned into panic when site owners realized their websites failed the Google mobile-friendly test. So what did happen on the 21st of April 2015? Did millions of websites fall into the mobile search abyss? According to most reports, not much at all happened. Sure, there was a peak of activity around the 22nd of April, according to Mozcast, but ranking changes were nowhere near as big as most SEOs thought they would be. The consensus from experts like the Search Engine Roundtable poll was that the results were pretty much unchanged. But what did the test results show? Enter Eric and the Stone Temple Consulting Team, Mobilegeddon Ranking Study. On the week of April 17th, 2015, pre-Mobilegeddon, before Mobilegeddon, Stone Temple pulled ranking data on the top 10 results for 15,000 search queries. They pulled data on the same 15,000 search queries again on the week of May 18th, after Mobilegeddon. They recorded ranking positions, and they also identified whether or not the URL slugs in the results were designated as mobile-friendly by Google or not. The non-mobile-friendly web pages lost rankings dramatically. In fact, nearly 50% of all non-mobile-friendly web pages dropped down the SERPs. The mobile-friendly pages overall gained in their ranking. The data that Eric and the team gathered in their Mobilegeddon test clearly goes against the general opinion of the trade press. Why did the press get it wrong? It's likely that because the algorithm update was rolled out slowly over time, it was not immediately obvious that such significant movements were taking place. Also, there was a quality update released during the same period that may have muddled the effects of Mobilegeddon on search rankings. So let's quickly wrap up on Mobilegeddon with 3 points. It was a big deal. If you haven't gone mobile yet, and by this time it's 2024, it's 9 years later, so you have. What are you waiting for? And if you're unsure if your website is mobile friendly or not, you could take a test, and the test is shared there, but I'm sure it is. It's 2024. Everyone has mobile friendly sites now. This study makes a lot of sense. If lots of people browse on their phones, and if a site is not mobile friendly and it's clunky and it's hard to use, and the information on it isn't crucial, people are going to bounce. If the information on it is crucial, people will probably stay and put up with bad user experiences. It happens all the time, especially in certain spaces that are known to have poor websites with clunky UX, websites that are critical to people's needs. In these spaces, you will see that. I think you know what I'm talking about. And people will stay because they have to, and these websites will rank. But yeah, of course, it's generally a best practice to make your site as easily usable as possible. Last one is the query and click volume experiment. So this is a follow-up to Rand Fishkin's experiment where he tweeted out, everyone go click on this link on my website at the same time. He did that. He got 218 clicks, and those 218 clicks got him from position number 7 to position number 1 in 3 hours. Sorry, it was 228 clicks. Those 228 clicks got him from position number 7 to position 1 in 3 hours. So this is a follow-up to that experiment. Rand Fishkin gets drunk on a bottle, or tipsy on a bottle of Sullivan's Cove whiskey during a break in the World Cup, and he sends out another tweet. He says, "What should you do during that lull in the World Cup match? Help me run a test. It just takes 30 seconds. So the tweet pointed his followers to some basic instructions which asked participants to search the buzzy pain distraction, then click the result for sciencebasedmedicine.org. Here's where the target website appeared before the start of the experiment. It appeared at number 10. Over the next 2.5 hours, Rand's initial tweet had a total of 375 participants clicking the result, and the effect of these 375 clicks in 2.5 hours was dramatic. Sciencebasedmedicine.org shot up from number 10 to number 1 in these 2.5 hours, in 3 hours. It took 2.5 hours to get into the top 3, and then after 30 more minutes, so 3 hours total, it got to number 1. Eureka! This miraculous event in turn set about a chain reaction, which ended in the celebratory moment for Rand. There's a picture of him with his whiskey. So it appears that click volume, or relative click-through rate, does impact search rankings. While there are still some people who argue against this, I believe this to be true, and we know that it's true. The Google algorithm leak revealed that this is a ranking factor. In fact, click data is so important to Google that they created Google Chrome for it. Google created Google Chrome to have the best click data. I'll just finish reading. There are so many obvious reasons why Google would consider click-through rate as a ranking signal aside from mainstream signals like content and links. A later study by Larry Kim seems to suggest that if you beat the expected click-through rate by 20%, you'll move up in rank. That is fascinating. If you beat the expected click-through rate by 20%, you'll move up in rank. So how do you use this information to your advantage? Here are 4 action steps that will show you just how to do that. Optimize your click-through rate. I talked about this on yesterday's episode, how I make page titles that have higher click-through rates than what is average in the search engine results pages. But I'm going to share what this article said. That was in yesterday's podcast, which is a great podcast. I loved how yesterday's podcast came out. All right, so this article says, To optimize your click-through rate, craft compelling page titles and meta descriptions for your pages that sell people on clicking your result over those above it. That is true, though meta descriptions are not always pulled in the search engine results pages. Google might pull whatever it wants, but page titles are very, very important. Put your keyword at the beginning of the page title and then another call to action in the page title. Number 2, build your brand and then put your brand at the end of the page title. So number 2, build your brand. An established and recognizable brand will attract more clicks. If users know your brand and hopefully like it and trust it too, you'll have more prominence in the SERPs. Number 3, optimize for long clicks. Don't just optimize to get clicks. Focus on keeping users on your site for a long time. If you get more clicks, but those users will just return back to the results, any benefit that you got from greater click-through rate will be canceled out. So you want people to stay on your page. I was asked in one of the comments on one of my podcasts, how do you target keywords very well? And it's very simple. I only target 1 or 2 keywords per page. And that's why I do bottom of funnel content, where people have a problem and they are searching for a solution to that problem. And then they are searching with a keyword that addresses that problem, that solution. And so I will find that keyword and I will put that keyword at the beginning of my page title in the H1 and in the first sentence of the page. And that page will be tailored to that keyword. And this keeps people on it because I am addressing them. And finally, number 4, use genuine tactics. The effects of a sudden spike in click-through rate, just like Rand's experiment, will only last a short time. When normal click-through rates return, so will your prior ranking position. So, makes sense. Goes along with lots of what was talked about with these other experiments. All right. These were 3, I think, pretty interesting experiments recorded from a pretty interesting place. This is episode 336 of my daily growth hacking, growth marketing, digital marketing, SEO podcast that I do 7 days a week, every day. Done it for 336 days now, and the sun is shining. It is gorgeous out here. There are people behind me, and I am so happy. I'm so grateful to be recording this for you. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will talk to you again. You know what I'm going to talk to you again. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.